Hi, I'm Rebecca Carner, and this is my second video in my series that is the companion series that goes along with the free gift on my website about top tips on how you can strengthen your own biofield every day. After breathing, which was my first video, the second tip that I have is take a sip of water. Staying hydrated is the best way to optimize connectivity and conductivity of all the electrical and biomechanical functions in your body. I couldn't really figure out a good way to make a tuning video, a biofield tuning video about drinking water. I think most people who've made their way onto YouTube likely already know how to take a sip of water. But what I wanted to do instead was to make a video that if you're following these tips, that you can bring to mind to help give added oomph to the things that you're doing. So what I wanted to do was with sound and frequency and vibration and explanation, I wanted to give a video about how to bring a higher degree of order to the water that you do drink. Much like food and air, the highest quality water that you can input is going to be your best bet. And given wherever you live, you know, the air quality pollution, some of that's under your control in your house with your filtration system and your HVAC and whatever, but some of it is beyond your control. Same with food. Get your hands on the best quality food that you can. And, you know, if only a sort of 4-day-old sandwich in a vending machine is the best you can do, then eat it and enjoy it and infuse it with the best prayer and intention that you can. And the same goes with water. Municipal waters are sort of known. I feel like all the information's out there about how much added yuckity yuck is in our water. And all these things are true. And rather than focusing on that, let's do what we can. So what you can do, the most easily imprinted substance that there is liquid. So if you bring your intention of not only am I going to drink water because I need it, but I would like to up the quality of whatever water is available to me. By watching this video, you can, in effect, infuse whatever water you do have at your availability. You can infuse it with literally just the memory of this video, and it's going to up the quality of the water. I'm not going to knock myself out trying to prove it. It's true. It's just true. One of the things that we have distanced ourselves from is the sort of natural movement of things. People often complain of tired hips and feet and knees and all this stuff because they walk around on cement floors and terrazzo floors and hard, flat surfaces. And our natural bodies are actually built to traverse natural terrain. So people who have hip issues or whatever, they think, oh, well, if I walk in nature, I might trip and fall. And so they're hesitant to do it. But often, I mean, I've firsthand experienced a lot of people say, wow, if I walk around a mall for 2 hours, or if I walk on the sidewalks of a city street for 2 hours, I'm exhausted and everything hurts. But when I walked on the earth with all of its undulation, I thought I'd be more tired, but in fact, I'm in far less pain and I feel better. And that's because our organic meat suits were built to traverse organic terrain. And so it's a match, and so it's actually often a lot easier than we think. Water, in all of its natural sources, it wells up and it rises up and it has a spiraling, undulating current quality from whatever source point to whatever flow journey it has. So whether it's a naturally arising mountain spring and then it trickles down a creek, or if it's a river, or if it's ocean water, there's always this sort of rolling, undulating nature. Now, intro the industrialization of humanity, and we needed to carry water really far distances. Initially, that was with aqueducts and sort of natural stone that we used to channel the water, but even at that, it would sort of current and roll and progress through. And then we got into super industrial times, and we put waters in straight tubes, and we shot them, and we shot water exceedingly long distances in very regular ways, but it arrested the undulating progression of things because we put it in pressurized tubes, which literally make water travel in a straight line, which prior to those technological advances had literally never happened in the course of human existence. And so now we get water from a tap, and whether you have a filter or whether you put it through the Brita, or if you have a whole house filter, or if you have it unfiltered, the fact is that if you get any kind of water from any sort of industrialized water source, it's arriving to you inert. But that can be changed. So one of the things that you can do with all water anywhere is when it arrives to you in the bottle or in a glass at a restaurant or whatever, you can give it a little swirl. Whoops. And you can spill it on the table. But if you give it a little swirl, just right there already, the vibration of that, right? You just reminded water of its intrinsic natural movement. Right there. God, I can even feel it. You've just upped the quality of your water. So if really kind of low-key style in a restaurant, you just give your glass a little swirl after the server brings it to your table, already you've improved the quality of your water. And then in the remainder of this video, I'm going to infuse it with a few fundamental frequencies. And then we're going to call this water restructured and reblessed. And you can literally, with your hands or with your intention, remember this video and infuse it into any glass, any bottle, any receptacle of water that you have at any time. The first frequency that I'm going to infuse my water with is 144 hertz. There is a lot of geometry and mathematical and at this point sort of cultural significance to the number 144. I'm not going to get into it all. Just know that it's a yummy one, and it's a good frequency. And I'm going to drop it into the water. One of the ways, I guess the sort of Cliff Notes version of how I think of 144 hertz is that there's a fundamental building block quality about it. And there's a fundamental building block quality to the water in our earth. That is what gets synthesized into our blood. That is our lymph. That is what irrigates and hydrates our fascia and our muscles and our skin. Our eyes, our mouths, digestion, our ability to absorb things is all informed by the waters of our body. Okay, I'm already a little bit of a goober about forks. I kind of have forks with me a lot of the times. But just doing this, it just feels so good. It's like, man, I need to be standing here over every glass of water. I'm going to be that person in the restaurant with her tuna and forks out. Yes, I am. mm, 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 mm. All right, and then the next frequency. The next frequency is 417. That just felt so good and knocked me into silence there for a second. Again, the 174, 417, 741, that sort of trifecta of rearrangement of numbers has its own geometry. But this is just, it's very sweet, and it is a fundamental, it's a base, right? It's a fundamental base. And then the last is 528, which, again, I don't even know what to say about 528. So many people have called this frequency so many things: the love frequency, the joy frequency, DNA repair. So, it's all the good things. It's just all the good things. And in my breathing video, I really talked about the light, the electric, the photonic nature of breath. And particularly, not only because it's sonically a higher tone, but there was something about the 528 that I felt like the 144 was sort of restructuring the molecules of the water, whereas the 528, I felt like it was infusing that light, that oxygenated brightness into the water, kind of like I talked about in the breath video. And then it's like singing to every one of your cells. Like the words that come to mind are singing a lullaby, not so much that I'm trying to put your soul, or all of our collective selves, to sleep, but more just that being totally held and cared for, right? Oh, oh. So literally, in the space of a breath, may the remembrance of this structuring, of this intention, and of this video bring coherent structure to all of the water, that anybody who watches this video at any time can remember into their water at all times going forward. Mm. 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 Cheers. Mm. Mm. Oh my God, it's like actually softer. It's softer in my mouth. Mm. 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 May you be hydrated and happy.